This is Straight Talk 24/7 with Elder J. Chris. I just wanted to come, sorry, looking at the camera here, just wanted to come and talk to you regarding the latest blog, It's Time to Strike Out. And I want you to go to our site where we are putting the blogs, which is Straight Talk with Elder J. That is our blog site. Go read, comment. When you're reading whatever God is saying to you and speaking to you, however it makes you remember about maybe something that you've been through or you're going through, put some comments down on that, because we'll be using that information, not so much saying your name, not doing any of that, but just it gives us more information and feedback as we start doing our live interviews and discussions. We just have information about what our readers are saying and what they think, and we want to make sure you're a part of that. So what you think and what you get out of the blog is definitely a value to me. So please go to Straight Talk with Elder J and read the blogs and let me know what you think, how you feeling. But like I said, we're discussing the latest blog, which is It's Time to Strike Out. And it's really about not allowing the devil to stop you from doing what God has called you to strike out and do. And so often the enemy is successful with that. I myself have been a victim of procrastination or delay in doing what God has called me to do. And it's something you have to fight. So I just want to hit a couple points and, just wanted to talk about it on a video level so I can get this out to some more people. And they can also be a part of what we're doing on this last blog and get some insight for some others. So one of the first things I want to, and as I look down, it's because I'm reading here, one of the first things I wanted to talk about is God didn't create us to be stagnant. It flat out says, we are supposed to create. He wanted us to create, but not only physically, but in building the kingdom. So that right there is a charge to go out and get busy creating. And when it comes down to creating and building the kingdom, what does that actually mean? God gives you gifts. He gives us all gifts, multiple gifts. Sometimes it takes us a while to tap into those. Sometimes some people have to bring it out of us. But they're in there because He created you in His own image. So understand, He didn't create you to be powerless. You're powerful and definitely have some oomph in you. You have something in you, multiple things in you that can move the kingdom forward. So those are the things we need to find when it's talking about creating and building the kingdom. So I guess this is simply about, are you listening and are you going to be obedient to move? Because God calls us all to do something. So are we hearing Him is the first thing. And if we are hearing Him, are we going to be obedient? If you're not hearing God, it's not because he's not talking. I would encourage you to invite God into your life, in your prayer life, and begin speaking and asking him to download into you, talk to you, tell you what he needs for you to do. What season are you in? So that's the thing. And like I said, after that, he will tell you something. So once he does that, are you going to be obedient to move? Understanding that there is a spiritual battle happening all around us, non-stop. There's no breaks in the war. I've used an example many times that spiritual warfare is like not a war in the sense of a country declaring war on someone else and then they battle and someone gives up or waves the white flag and there's a treaty and the war stops. No, this is a battle that is non-stop until when you read into the Bible, there is a time where Christ is going to come back and stop everything. There'll be a moment of peace. That's going into a whole nother thing, but that's where the Antichrist will come and there'll be a moment of peace. But Christ will come back, and that's when everything will come to an end. And those that have been moving and have been listening will receive their reward, their just reward. But in the natural, to understand exactly what spiritual warfare is, it's like people that are born in the countries that just like Jerusalem and Palestine, and the Palestinians, Lebanon, countries like that where you're just born into war and you don't have to be in the military to be involved in the war. It's going on whether you are actively participating in it or not. That's spiritual warfare. And so it's going on around you whether you're involved or not. So it's better that you understand, one, that it's happening, and two, once you understand that it's happening, that you become equipped on how to know what God is telling you to do, how to be prepared against the enemy, and gird yourself up. And if you are married, and I'm talking to the men, how to prepare and protect your family and make sure they understand how to protect themselves. So that's warfare. The Bible tells us that we are dealing with rulers against the powers, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. That's Ephesians 6:12. That's in the blog. I always put a spiritual reference, so it's not just my thoughts. The Bible is backing up what I have to say, and I encourage you to, anything that you read, if there's no scriptures in it, then it's just somebody's opinion, maybe a godly opinion, but it's a manly God opinion, and you want God's word, period. So I have to make sure that I put scriptural references in all my blogs. But Ephesians 6:12, and you can read more of that. But So with that, God gives us an assignment. He gives us missions, gifts, spiritual awareness, and more to use in order to save those who have yet to accept Christ as the way to the Father. So that's, the bottom line when we're talking about going out and building the kingdom. There are multiple things that we as Christians set out to do, but the bottom line is to save the lost. And building the kingdom is building platforms to save the lost. That's all that Christ cares about, that you make sure that the gospel gets spread, and that once someone has accepted Christ, you have accepted Christ, you must also worship Him. So worship Him and save the lost. So bottom line, the blog, it goes on further, but I want you to read it. So that's just a sneak preview to it, but I want you to read it. But bottom line, it's time to strike out. And don't let the enemy stop you from striking out. If God has spoken to you, has given you the go-ahead, the word, the gifts to go out and do the work, once that happens, then it's time to do the work. Pray about it. If he's tell him, give me a strategy. Ask God for everything that you need. Every direction that you need to go into, ask God for help. Everything that I do, I'm now saying, God, how do you want me to do this? How should I proceed in the next step? How should I market it? Do I need a team? Help me pick the team. Everything, make sure you put God in it. So bottom line, if you are out there and you have struck out on your own in building the kingdom, I congratulate you on that. I say stay focused. Make sure that you keep God at the head of that. Make sure if you should be if you're not a pastor, then you should be in a church, and make sure that what you're doing is not conflicting or in battle with your pastor and what they're doing. At least make sure your pastor knows, what you're doing, because you want to be a blessing to that vision as well. God has given you a vision, and you are under submission under whatever house that you're serving in for however many seasons God has you there. But the one thing God will not have you do is be in conflict with your house. So but I congratulate you. If you have not struck out on your own, pray about it. Ask God to give you what you need to do what it is that He would have you to do. And I can promise you this: once you do it, it'll be something that is passionate to you, something you enjoy doing. It won't be work, because you'll love it. Serving is not work at all. It's great to help build the kingdom. So that's about all the time I got right now. I just want to take a minute. Happy 4th to those celebrating, but we know that there is someone that sacrificed more for our independence, and that would be Jesus Christ, as he was obedient enough to make the trek up to Mount Calvary and get on that cross. So enjoy yourself, but always remember where your source comes from. Alright, I'm out of here. This is Elder J. Chris, once again with Straight Talk 24/7. And don't forget, check us out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Straight Talk 247. And also the blogs, which is Straight Talk with Elder J. And we're building a website to put everything as a whole portal. So from there, you'll be able to get to the Facebooks, the blogs, the YouTube channel, all from one spot. You'll just be hitting buttons and it'll take you where you want to go. So we're in the process of building that now to make it easy for you. So once you hit one, you can get to everywhere else you want to go. So peace out. Love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.